the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Good day everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo, Quezon City. Today is Thursday, June 6, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. I am Rob Susan for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our headlines, 3rd ID deploys personnel and vehicles to Negros Island amidst Mount Canlaon activity.
DWDD Armed Forces
AFP
News.
announces successful resupply mission in BRP Sierra Madre.
DWDD National News.
DA before guarantee assistance to farmers, fishers affected by Mount Canlaon eruption.
DWDD National News.
And House leaders support Palace's decision to cut imported rice tariff.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the details of our stories, the 3rd Infantry Division of the Philippine Army has dispatched 464 personnel and 42 vehicles to Negros Island in anticipation of Mount Canlaon's heightened activity. These forces included disaster response task units from various infantry battalions. Major General Marion Season stated that this deployment aims to ensure swift military response. Additionally, the Philippine Army, with local government support, is conducting community awareness programs on evacuation procedures and safety measures.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
3 surrendered members of the New People's Army confessed their involvement in arson attacks targeting heavy equipment in Sultan Kudarat and South Cotabato. According to 37th Infantry Battalion Commander Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Son Capuyan, the trio included a squad leader from the NPA's Region Centro de Gravidad and 2 others. Their admission exposed the NPA's extortion tactics, where businesses face violence for refusing to pay protection money. Moreover, 603rd Infantry Brigade Commander Brigadier General Michael Santos praised their bravery and lauded their choice to seek reconciliation.
Armed Forces Radio.
For other updates, let us hear the details about Philippine Army and Israel's Sibad director discuss bilateral defense cooperation. Go ahead, Jai.
Asrof, Mr. Ethan Levy, Director of Asia and the Pacific of Israel Saibat, paid a courtesy call on Philippine Army Commanding General Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido at the headquarters Philippine Army in Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City yesterday. During the meeting, both discussed the current bilateral defense relationship between the Philippine Army and Israel's Ministry of Defense, particularly focusing on logistics and procurement. Furthermore, the officials also expressed mutual interest in collaborative efforts in providing relevant training and exercises between the respective armies, including subject matter expert exchanges and research and development initiatives. This is Jai reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Jai.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
7 newly enlisted privates of the 4th Infantry Diamond Division pledged their service during a flag raising and oath-taking ceremony at the 4th ID headquarters in Camp Evangelista, Patag, Cagayan de Oro City. Chosen through special enlistment for their diverse skills, these privates will undergo basic military training at the Training and Doctrine Command in Capas, Tarlac starting July. Moreover, 4th ID Commander Major General Jose Maria Cuerpo II congratulated the new privates, urging them to embrace their new journey toward national service and highlighting the challenges and growth ahead.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippines' recent resupply mission to BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal was largely successful. This was despite of interference from the China Coast Guard. According to Armed Forces of the Philippines spokesperson Colonel Francil Margaret Padilla, while some supplies were seized, Filipino soldiers secured the majority. Furthermore, she also condemned the CCG's actions, emphasizing the AFP's commitment to defend Philippine sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea and to support the troops stationed in the said area.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
On the other line, let's hear from Leonor about Philippine Army and Indian Army advance closer cooperation.
Army and Indian Army are pushing for closer cooperation between their forces. This initiative was highlighted during a meeting between Philippine Army Chief Lieutenant General Roy Galido and National Defense College of India Senior Director Staff Major General Samart Nagar. These agreed to expand education and training programs to exchange visits and personal exchanges between their respective countries. This move aims to strengthen the partnership and capabilities of both armies in facing common challenges. This is Eleanor reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Leonor.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
299 police officers freshly trained under the revitalized Police sa Barangay program have been dispatched to 17 geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas and urban barangays across Western Visayas. According to Police Regional Office 6 Regional Director Brigadier General Jack Wangki, it included 1 barangay each in Aklan and Antique, 2 in Iloilo City and Negros Occidental, 3 in Capiz, and 4 each in Iloilo Province and Bacolod City, tasked with maintaining peace and addressing community concerns. The deployment aims to reinforce gains achieved through community support programs. Moreover, oversight committees will ensure the officers fulfill their mandates during the 6-month immersion period.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, Senate Majority Leader Francis Tolentino and Senator Lito Lapid appealed to concerned government agencies to secure the needs of residents affected by the eruption of Mount Canlaon. Tolentino noted that coordination with local water districts is needed despite the abundant water supply in the area as it may be contaminated by ashfall. Meanwhile, Lapid urged the local government units to implement price control to prevent unscrupulous traders from taking advantage of the situation. The senator also supported Canlaon City Mayor Jose Chubasco Cardenas' move to declare a state of calamity after the volcano erupted.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
From Solcom, let us hear an update from Ali regarding 903rd Brigade hosts Albay and Sorsogon Press Corps Media Fellowship 2024.
In order to strengthen the working relationship between the military and the media, the 903rd Infantry Brigade hosted the Albay and Sorsogon Press Corps Media Fellowship 2024 on May 31, 2024. The Press Corps of Albay and Sorsogon play a crucial role in enhancing transparency, promoting proactive communication, and countering disinformation. This press corps proved to be vital in supporting the pursuit of the 903rd Brigade's mission in channeling correct information while exercising vigilance against false narratives. This initiative demonstrated the Brigade's recognition of the importance of media in the changing dynamics of the information environment that is anchored on the peculiarities of the socio-political landscape in the Brigade's area of operation. During the event, Brigadier General Jose Rique Ilani of Philippine Army, the commander of the 903rd Infantry Brigade, expressed his sincere appreciation to the media practitioners for their cooperation and enthusiasm. He highlighted their essential role in conveying accurate and credible information to the Bicolanos, particularly on the efforts of Team Patriot, which are centered on promoting peace and safeguarding the Bicolano communities from insurgency, disasters, and other threats. His message underscored the critical partnership between the military and the media in ensuring the public's access to reliable and timely information. This is Ali reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Ali.
DWDD National News.
The report by the Viticulture and the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources assured the support to farmers and fishers affected by the eruption of Mount Canlaon. Agriculture Assistant Secretary Arnel de Mesa said that they are closely keeping track of the situation and have yet to receive reports of agricultural damage on the ground. According to De Mesa, among the areas affected were some parts of Canlaon and municipalities in Negros Occidental, including La Castellana, La Carlota, Pontevedra, Bago, Balidoling, San Enrique, Tinigaran, and Binalbagan. Meanwhile, BIFAR spokesperson Nazario Briguera said that all provincial fisheries offices are ready to respond to affected fishers, especially in freshwater inland fish ponds.
DWDD National News.
Speaker Martin Romualdez and other House leaders praised the move of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to cut the tariff for imported rice from 35% to just 15%. According to Romualdez, the tax reduction on import and the direct sale of imported rice by the government through its Kadiwa centers would bring down the retail price substantially, especially for consumers. The House Speaker said that these efforts are in accordance with the Marcos administration's goal of making the staple available and affordable. He also added that rice farmers should not worry about the aid they receive from the government, which is funded by the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund set up under Republic Act No. 11203 or the Rice Tariffication Law.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
Bring us the latest insights from the scene. We have our correspondent Beth. Let us hear the details about Philippine Navy welcomes 48 Senate staff as naval reservists.
The Philippine Navy warmly received 48 members of the legislative staff and employees of the Senate as the naval reservists. They came after they completed the Basic Citizen Military Course Class 1024 at the said headquarters. Philippine Navy Flag Officer in Command, Vice Admiral Toribio Adasi Jr. congratulated the reservists for joining the Philippine Navy, emphasizing its timeless as the country faces significant challenges and the maritime domain. The graduation ceremony was graced by the Senator Robin Padilla as the guest of honor, wherein he expressed her hope that the example set by Senate personnel would inspire youth to stand up for the nation. This is Bethanyete reporting for the AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Beth Tanyete.
DWDD National News.
Our time is already 12:20 in the afternoon, and you're still tuning at AFP Radio, the WWD Facebook page. For our announcements, join us in celebrating the 126th Philippine Independence Day with music, song, and dance, featuring bands and performers from various uniformed services. Witness a showcase of talents in music, singing, and dancing from the modern-day heroes. Let us come together to honor the Filipinos who fought for the nation's independence at Musicalian 2024 tomorrow, live at the Rizal Park Open Auditorium. See you there.
DWDD National News.
The National Privacy Commission advised all businesses that process the data of their clients and workers to register with the NPC to avoid fines for violations under the Data Privacy Act of 2012. The NPC reminded that all businesses that process the personal data of 250 or more employees, 1,000 or more customers, or those processing data that will likely pose a risk to the rights and freedom of data subjects need to be registered with the agency under its circular number 2022-04. In line with this, the NPC will issue a show cause order for the non-compliance with the DPA to personal information controllers and personal information processors that remain unregistered. Moreover, the NPC's Data Security Compliance Office will do compliance checks on businesses nationwide.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. directed the Bureau of Customs and the Department of Agriculture for a 24/7 deployment of teams to ensure uninterrupted shipment process nationwide. In a message during the fourth meeting with the Private Sector Advisory Council Infrastructure Sector Group yesterday, the President highlighted the importance of round-the-clock shipment process to accommodate the arrival of more ships into the country. President Marcos issued the directive after the PISAC recommended that the BOC and DA should implement a shifting schedule ensuring 24/7 operations across government services relating to logistics and supply chains.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
We have a report coming in about Australian troops trek to reach remote Palawan indigenous group. Go on for the details, Mitch.
For the first time, Australian Army troops have embarked on a journey by foot to reach the remote Palawan indigenous group at Barangay Tarusan, municipality of Batarat sa Palawan. Accompanied by the 18th Special Forces Company, they immersed themselves into the rich and authentic culture of the Palawans, gaining first-hand insight into their well-preserved traditions. And to provide much-needed support to the community, the Australian soldiers distributed essential items to the indigent families, such as clothes, footwear, and school supplies, letting the Aussies have a first-hand experience how the Philippine Army conduct their civil military operations. And that is the latest update. This is Mitch reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Mitch.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine Ports Authority will beef up its information campaign against fixers who offer passengers and motorists priority boarding for a fee. In line with this, PBA General Manager J. Santiago directed the port managers in all port management offices under the PPA to take steps in fighting the illegal activity. Santiago also ordered PMOs to imitate PMO Marinduque Quezon, which installed signage the publics to avoid fixers and fraudsters. The PPA's move came following a report that a fixer in Lucena Port was offering motorists early boarding in exchange for 1,000 pesos on top of their fare.
DWDD National News.
The National Police Commission stressed that the approach of the current administration's anti-illegal drug campaign is human rights based. NAPOLCOM Vice Chairperson and Executive Office Alberto Bernardo said that there is no longer a thing called drug war, as the anti-illegal drug campaign is centered on the law enforcement function. Bernardo made that statement during the House hearing into the alleged extrajudicial killings associated with the controversial war on drugs of the former administration. The NAPOLCOM official also shared that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s order is to focus on supply and demand reduction efforts as well as rehabilitation.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
From Rizal, let us hear some information about Rizal Police. nabs 8 individuals in anti-criminality campaign. Go on, Ella Mercado.
Thank you very much. 8 individuals were arrested in anti-criminality campaign in Rizal, while more than 800,000 pesos worth of suspected illegal drugs confiscated within 24 hours police operation in different parts of the said province. According to the report reaching Rizal PPO Director, Police Colonel Felipe Maragon, the 8 individuals now in the custody of the police stations that arrested them for proper documentation of cases to be filed against the suspects. Except for large amount of illegal drugs, the police authorities also confiscated 1 unit of caliber 45 with magazine and 3 pieces of live ammunition from one of the suspects, which was immediately submitted to Provincial Forensic Unit for additional evidence in the aforementioned operation. Police Colonel Maragon praised the efforts of his men to successful campaign against criminalities within the province in line to government peace campaign sa bagong Pilipinas, gusto ng pulis, ligtas ka. This is Ella Mercado reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Ella Mercado.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
And now let us hear from our reporter on the ground for more updates about NPA members surrenders to authorities in Sorsogon. Go on for the details, Mike.
Yes, Ref. Good afternoon. An individual identified as a member of communist terrorist group surrendered to authorities following a government counterinsurgency operation in Barangay San Fernando Preto Diaz, Sorsogon. According to Police Major Cristel Joy Asim, Public Information Officer of the Special Action Force, the rebel returnee was identified as Aljon Barcelon alias Joaquin. Authorities revealed that he was a non-PSR listed CTG member under the Kilusang Larangang Guerrilla 1, Sub-Regional Committee 3, Bicol Regional Party Committee, and joined the movement in 2017, where he learned to make explosives. Upon surrendering, the said personality turned over 5 improvised explosive devices to authorities and currently under the custody of the police for documentation. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Mike.
DWDD National News.
And for other development story, the Department of Health reported that 169 human rabies cases have been recorded from January to May, about 13% higher than 150 in the same period last year. The largest number came from the Soc-Sargent region with 21 cases, followed by Calabarzon and Bicol with both 18 cases. From the total cases reported, 156 were from dog bites, 10 from cat bites, while the remaining were from other animals. Furthermore, 160 deaths have been reported, resulting to a case fatality rate of 94.67%.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced June 17 as regular holiday to give way to the celebration of Eid al-Adha or the Feast of Sacrifice. The holiday was declared through Proclamation 579 signed by Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin on Tuesday. The proclamation was released upon the recommendation of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos based on the 1445 Hijra Islamic lunar calendar. As stated in the Republic Act 9848, the 10th day of Zulhijjah, the 12th month of the Islamic calendar, is a national holiday for the observance of Eid al-Adha with a movable date.
Armed Forces Radio.
For more updates, let's hear the details from friends about Speaker Romualdez appeals to China to stop aggression in West Philippine Sea.
Yes, Rob. Speaker Martin Romualdez has once again appealed to China to cease its harassment and aggressive actions in the West Philippine Sea. This plea came after reports of the Chinese Coast Guard seizing food items and supplies intended for soldiers stationed at Ayungin Shoal. Romualdez emphasized the importance of maintaining positive relations between the Philippines and China and urged them to stop these actions to prevent further escalations of tensions. He reaffirmed the Philippines' stance against China's mistreatment and reiterated support for the President's policies and direction. This is Franz reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, friends.
Armed Forces Radio.
We also have a report coming in from Kian about JDF NCR conducts Youth Forum for Peace and Security for different SK officials in NCR. Go for the details, Kian.
The Joint Task Force NCR held a youth forum activity with the subject 4K, Kasaysayan Kinabukasan, Kalayaan para sa Kabataan, a youth forum on peace and security for SK officials. The program featured a dynamic lineup of speakers on June 1, 2024 in Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo, Multipurpose Hall, Quezon City. The initiative sought to empower young people in nation building and promote security and peace. Opening the session with captivating debate on the role of the youth in nation building based on the Philippine Youth Development Plan 2024. Mr. Jun Angeles Jr., head of NCR Mimaro National Youth Commission, emphasized the significance of the peace and security agenda. Mr. Angeles emphasized the vital role that young people play in influencing the direction of the country by actively participating in and engaging with social concerns. And after that, Honorable Patricia Suarez, President of Youth for Peace, Quezon City, and Barangay Kagawad of Bagong Silangan, gave her perspectives on the major accomplishment of the Youth Leadership Summit, as well as the best practices in serving constituents. Her talk inspired participants to embrace successful leadership techniques in their local communities by sharing insightful real-world advice and success stories from her tenure. Following a fruitful morning, Colonel Medel Aguilar, Philippine Army Deputy Commander of CRS-AFP, gave an important talk on preventing and countering violent extremism in the afternoon session. The lecture by Colonel Aguilar emphasized the value of alertness and preventive actions in preserving peace and security, especially in rural areas. Along with other 7 CRG members, Technical Sergeant Jelvis Sarte, Philippine Army led a live firing activity and gave talk on gun safety during the day. The goal of the practical training was to increase participants' general comprehension of security measures by teaching them about safe gun handling practices and safety precautions. The event sought to advance the importance of peace and among the priorities for security in the Philippine Youth Development Plan 2024, citizens of the SK officials that were elected. Working with NYC and YFP DMP, the event was attended by 54 SK officials from 7 different local government units. The planning and execution of this event led by Lieutenant Colonel Romel S. Panganiban, Infantry Philippine Army, Group Commander of 7CRG, CRS AFP, in collaboration of Honorable Miguel Osillas, the SK Camp Aguinaldo Chairperson, with assistance from 11 CMO Battalion.
This is Kawal Pinoy Kian from JTF NCR reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Kian.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration said that rain showers will prevail over western sections of Luzon and Visayas due to the southwest monsoon or habagat. According to Pagasa, habagat will bring scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over Metro Manila, Ilocos Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Western Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, and the provinces of Zambales, Bataan, Tarlac, Pampanga, Bulacan, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi. The State Weather Bureau warned that heavy rains in the said areas could lead to flash floods or landslides. Moreover, Pagasa said that isolated rain showers caused by localized thunderstorms may be experienced in other portions of the country.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in next week for more updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Ralph Susan for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng